So I needed to water this anthurium Bessier AFF, and it's a stunning anthurium. It's my biggest one actually right now. So it's the one with the biggest leaves in my collection and I love it, but that's not why I wanted to show it. So it does need water and I can tell that because of the dry moss that's on top, and I already created a video for that on my TikTok, so you can go take a look, or like on my page. But I wanted to show you this. So this is an inflorescence. So this is like the flower of an anthurium, and traditionally this is kind of what they look like. I wanted to show you while it's in this stage. So the thing about anthuriums is that they're very fertile plants. So like they like to reproduce, so that's why they create these like inflorescences to essentially create berries, and I'll create a whole other video on it basically. But this is when it wants to be fertile and when it wants to essentially reproduce. So right now there's like this stuff called stigmatic fluid, and it's basically this like sticky sap, I would say. It's more like a sap, and right now it's in this like receptive stage. So what it's looking for while it has this sticky stuff is actually anthurium and other anthurium's pollen. This is the first stage of an inflorescence for an anthurium. Is it does something like this where it's more receptive and it wants to take in that pollen. And think of it like the mother, or like the, I guess like this is like the female stage where it wants to take in that pollen. And then if it does get that pollen put onto this inflorescence, what happens is it essentially creates berries, and then there's seeds in those berries that causes it to reproduce, and then you can grow new plants. So it does this, and I don't know how long this one does it for, but a lot of them it'll go through this stage, I don't know, like maybe for a few weeks, depending on the actual type of plant and how long. I think there's a bunch of different factors that go into it. But then after this, so this will then turn into like the pollen or the male stage. So what it'll actually do is the stigmatic fluid will no longer be present, and it won't be receptive to pollen. But what will happen is that it'll then turn into pollen for then you to use on another inflorescence that is in this stage. So say I didn't want this to be like the mother plant per se, but I had another plant that I wanted to use to be the mother. What I would do is wait for this to go into that pollen stage, and then I would be able to actually essentially just like rub them together, or like put this pollen onto the other inflorescence that is in this stage right now, to basically like make that the mother, and then it'll generate berries. But yeah, I just wanted to show that because I find it's kind of cool and talking about what happens in this stage, and that it can kind of go through like a female and a male stage. So yeah, the more you know. But I'm gonna water this now because it needs water, and it's starting to drop off, or like not drop off, but yellow some of these leaves, or they're not looking as good as this one. So I'm gonna water this right now, and yeah, I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and we'll see you tomorrow.